on. Infrastructure, and particularly infrastructure funding, isn't always the most enlightening conversation.
It's not a sexy topic. Is that what you're talking about?
Sexy, but
To some of us, yes. However,
some policy wonks. There are tangible benefits of RTA 1 and RTA Next. So talk to us a little bit about the improvement in mobility connectivity that voters will actually see in RTA Next.
Well, I'm going to use an example that I used at the last RTA board when I was talking with Mayor Winfield before the meeting and during the meeting about I live in Oro Valley, so to me the regional connectivity is an important piece. And there's a new segment in RTA Next called arterial rehabilitation, and that's why I brought up the idea of fixing the roads by constructing the roads. And some of our roadways, some of our arterial roadways, because we don't do feeder routes or the neighborhoods, that's different responsibility. That falls on the municipalities. But we want to take care of the arterial roads, the roads like Speedway, like Grant, like First, like Oracle, the ones that really move traffic through our region.
The heaviest volume. Yeah.
A lot of those roads are not in good condition right now. And we can say, did that fall on the municipalities? Yeah, they're partly to blame, but there's a lot of things that goes into that. But with this arterial reconstruction category, which right now, the majority of the funding is not in the pessimistic or the conservative view, it's in the baseline view. There's an opportunity to put almost $200 million into fixing our arterial roads. The biggest advantage of those is it's curb to curb. So no design necessary, there's no unnecessary improvement. It's going down 4 to 6 inches, redoing the road, and now you've got a road that's going to be in good shape for another 20 years. So when I'm in Oro Valley and I come in to Tucson to work, to play, to spend money, I want roads I can drive on. I want roads that are in good shape. So to me, that's a benefit to residents of Oro Valley, Marana, and the rest of the communities, that we are taking care of the arterial roads that we all drive on when we come into this area. So that's one example. But the other example that, Mayor Honey, and his loss is gonna be a big impact on the RTA, because while many people would see us go head to head on certain issues, ultimately I know that Mayor Honey believed in the RTA. All of the, just quick sidebar, all of the mayors of the current municipalities will tell you that RTA 1 has been a huge benefit to their communities, because it brings in 2 times as much money as we've got otherwise, unless they want to go out and tax their own citizens and their own citizens alone. And then we lose the regional approach. And roads are a system. Infrastructure is a system. So we have to have it throughout. But he'll remind me all the time that the INA-TI was probably more beneficial for those folks that live in Tucson and live in the east side of the valley, because it's their easy access. It's their improved access onto the freeway.
Onto I-10.
And onto I-10. So it does have, benefits throughout. But you also can't look at benefits for those who rely on transit.
Public transportation.
Public transportation of any sort, whether it's streetcar, whether it's dial-a-ride, whether it's, Suntran. $610 million in RTA Next would go to support that over the 20 years of the program. The majority of it's just funding the operations that are currently in existence. So if this doesn't pass, the frequency, the availability, the ridership, everybody's going to be impacted. I always like to tell people a story about Michael Ortega when he first came in as the city manager. It's back when we were having a Suntran strike. And so we talk about the ridership, how the ridership might get hurt. Right? It's not easy. He said the number 1 complaints he was getting was from the business community, because the people that work at their businesses were impacted on getting to it.
Depended
on getting to it. And infrastructure and transportation, not infrastructure, transportation is a system of infrastructure, and that includes roads, that includes transit, that includes anything that helps us move people effectively. And the worst thing we can have, and at this time of year always reminds us all, how many lights do you sit at some of these major intersections? And some people go, oh, it's the timing of the lights. No, it's not, because you're going to build up a longer line the longer you let each side go. It's a system. And we sometimes lose that, and it's so important for that transportation system in this region to be regional. And if the municipalities, and Mayor Romero and Mayor Honey, before his passing, said, if this fails, we'll go it alone. And sometimes they'll say, we might be better off alone. And I won't argue that. The individual
Discussion not to
municipalities,
shy away from.
exactly. And the individual municipalities could do more of what they want if they do it on their own. But anybody that understands that it's a regional transportation system you need.
Right.
And when it